Okay. Are you guys here? Are you with me? So many windows. All right. Well, hello, Don. Hello, Lisa. How are you guys? Doing well, I hope. Well, yeah, trying to get fancy a little bit. Just trying to up my game. Tampa, Florida. How cool. Well, we'll give just another minute or so, or a moment. Illinois. Well, how cool. Houston, Texas. Hello, Dawn. Hello, Christy. Well, let's chat for a minute. What have you guys been doing to stay on plan through the holidays? And if anyone wants to give me a call, uh, you can do it 423-302-0434, and we can actually have an actual chat if you want. But I know I ate a whole lot, but it was all good food, so I don't feel quite so bad. So that's good. But what were some strategies? What did you guys do to stay on plan? Because I know it's always going to be difficult, especially you get around other people that maybe aren't what Dr. Barry says PhD woke. First snow. Oh my goodness, in Chicago. Well, we're not quite there yet. We did we got down to like 25 degrees this morning, but not all that. Well, hello, Julie. How are you? Sugar-free cranberry sauce and chicken legs. We had some sugar-free cranberry sauce. It was actually really good, and you know, if Julie wanted to give me a call on the phone, she could. So, what was in your cranberry sauce, Dawn? Because we are so curious. Triple B and E since then. So, did you need Dawn? Did you need to do a reset? Is that why you just felt like you needed to, or did you just want to, or is that just kind of the next stage in your evolution through this weekend? Because yeah, a little fasting never hurt anybody, but neither did a little bit of triple B and E. That's always good too. Well, here's a good question. What were some gotchas? What were some things that really maybe were potential stumbling blocks for you? What were some things that kind of maybe tripped you up? Were you around friends or family that just didn't quite get it? And what was your favorite keto dish from the weekend? Mine, and I'm a little bit partial because it was the recipe I made, but the sweet potatoes, that was the bomb diggity. That was the bee's knees. It was so good. But yeah, and not a bit of potato in it, so even better. So what do you guys look for um, in a reset? Dawn, you said you're doing triple B and E. What are you looking for in a reset? Are you looking to clear out the nastiness? Are you looking to do a like an immunity uh, reset? Are you looking to just kickstart, get back into ketosis again? What's the end game there? I know this. There's a lot of lessons that I learned that I'm going to continue to apply. One thing is, if you go anywhere, yeah, eat before you go. Eat something that you know is good before you go, because that always makes a difference. The other thing is, uh, for me, is I don't want to say portion control, but at least plan ahead. So if you know you're going to have to sample a whole bunch of things, don't let your eyes be bigger than your stomach, because sometimes that stuff is just so good, and you want to try a little bit of everything, and you can hurt yourself. The other thing is, um, maybe for me it was I did some intermittent fast. I do intermittent fasting anyway, but maybe extend it a little bit before, and then a little bit after, and then it'd be easier to get back into maybe doing a block fast. So excuse me, doing a block fast just to again do a gut reset. Yes, just strictly the foods you know you can tolerate, no temptation. Yeah, and it's easier said than done for sure. But hey, you got to do what you got to do. And you can only control you. You can't control what other people say, what other people bring, what other people offer. You can just control what you choose to eat and how you choose to respond. Did you have anyone have anybody that was kind of confrontational, or were people pretty much understanding when you said, "Yeah, hey, I have a little bit of a challenge with this kind of food, or I'm keto, or I'm proper human diet." Were people understanding, or were they confrontational? Ooh, a potluck. See, now church potlucks can be dangerous. They can be good, but they can be dangerous at the same time. Just because you don't ever really know what's going to be there. So, like you said, being strict, asking about the ingredients. I've done that a lot too. Just say, hey, What's in that? One girl felt sorry for you. Oh, Lisa. Poor Lisa. What are we going to do with Lisa? Oh, what have we got here? Hello.
Hey,
Well, hey there, caller. You're on the air. So,
oh, well,
can you tell us what you put into your cranberry sauce? Because it was really, really good. I know. So we did
what
have
are we?
someone. We had who was it? Dawn. Dawn had made a cranberry sauce, and she used fresh cranberries and Swerve. So what did you put into yours? Because it was good.
uh,
It's got like that much life left in it, and I think I know who's going to finish it off.
Well, usually I use Bucka Sweet, but then I think this time I used the monk fruit. I want to say it's La Canta.
Oh yeah, we've used that a lot. The Lakanto.
Yeah.
And did you use
Yes.
the white granular, the confectioner, or the brown?
The white, the white granular, so I can see it disappearing.
Okay. And so that was it. It was just simple ingredients.
Yep, just those two, and I just let it boil. I let the cranberries boil till they started popping, and I just kept stirring, and then it just starting to harden like cranberry sauce.
Okay. And about how long did that take?
Uh, I would say probably about 30 minutes.
Okay. Now, so that's pretty like traditional cranberry sauce as far as the reduction.
Oh, I did put in um, the rind of the orange and a little bit of the orange juice in it just to give it a kick.
Okay. But still, overall, it's pretty clean ingredients.
Yes,
Okay. So what were some other winners that we had at our house?
working good. Um, Stuffing.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So tell us about that, because that every time you've made that, it has been a hit, and it's keto friendly. It's I mean it is the bomb diggity bee's knees. What was in that stuffing? Because that's the same stuffing that's fooled everybody.
Yes, it is. The first ingredient that I used is I used, of course, pork crumbs.
Oh,
I
the
used the pork crumbs in it.
and that was the
And
porking good, right?
then, yes, porking good. So let me think here. I know I mixed a few things together and then I bake it and then I take it out and make cubes. So it kind of resembles like stuffing.
Yeah, it's like the bread, or like the big croutons almost.
Right, right. And we've used those in the past where we'll take those shapes and then we will fry them up so they could be croutons.
But they're not croutons.
No, they're not. They're wannabes.
And then you cut it all up and you put it into a pan. What else went in there with it? So you had
Well,
faux croutons.
well, before, okay, I had to think about this, but as far as like the stuffing type style, it was pork and good, pork rind crumbs with mozzarella cheese, and you need to make sure that it's organic, that it doesn't have that added starch that keeps them fresh. And then I added eggs and I added Greek yogurt to help soften it. A little bit
Hmm.
of baking powder, garlic powder. Um, that should have been it. Then I just baked that. I let it cool completely, and then I cut it up into little cubes. And then I just add the rest of it like you would a regular stuffing. I would add like onions, celery. Uh, the girls are not a big fan of mushrooms. So then I do seasoning like butter, parsley, thyme, sage, black pepper. And then I use chicken bone broth to help give it a little bit of liquid in it to keep it soft.
Okay. And the other thing that you made that was so good was the homemade mushroom gravy, which we poured over top. Oh, it was good.
Yeah, I had to find to thicken it up for gravy. I used there's a special ingredient. You don't use a whole lot of it, and it's better than using the thickener that they have. But it's a root extract, konjac. I think it's called konjac root extract. You don't need much, so I'd rather use that than the other thickener, which I swear if you say the name, it makes it really sick.
Oh, you could just say the word xanthan gum, and it'll just mess it all up.
Yeah, so I don't like using phantom gum so much in our gravies, which we never make gravy, but konjac, uh, the konjac root extract, there's another name for it, but I can't think of what it is. But that really helped with thickening it up and actually making it taste like gravy.
It was it was good though. That's all I know. I ate it and I ate it and I ate it. So, real quick, and we got Lisa's wanting to call in. So, just real quick, Julie, what were some either victories or gotchas from this past weekend for you? Anything trip you up, or anything you could say was a resounding success?
I think the fact that we were all so full from Thanksgiving that we didn't really like crave pumpkin pie, and if we did, we ended up having the egg pudding with homemade whipped cream, and then for crust, because I wanted a crust texture like a chocolate pie texture. I know you don't care for it, but a little bit of pork rinds with a little bit of Dorkin brown sugar and a little bit of butter, mashed it all in, and then put pie on top of it with a little whipped cream. Made it like I wasn't cheating. I didn't feel terrible about it, and my body didn't hate me for 2 days.
And so, coming out of this weekend, what's next for you as far as the next step for you on your health journey? What's next for the not for the next 6 months? What's up for the next 7 days? What's your plan?
My plan is to try to go back to eating more meat heavy. I know with the holidays coming and with a lot of people getting sick, I want to make sure that my lifestyle is to keep me from getting sick. 'Cause we've got a grandbaby that's going to be coming any day.
I
So
know.
I want to make sure I'm well. So just pretty much just stay on a meat heavy diet um, and stay away from sweets as much as I can.
That's a good plan. And I know we talked before, and I said this to other folks, is one thing that might help, especially at the holidays, would be uh, food journaling, whether it's using an app, whether it's using just a notepad, whether it's doing like Dave Feldman did on the cruise, and he said he just literally takes a picture of anything that passes his lips. That way, he's got a journal of everything he ate. So if he knows if he felt bad, if he felt good, or whatnot, then he could always go back and refer back to it. And during the holidays, where it's a time where it's easy to be tempted, I think anyone could probably benefit from just doing some little impromptu food journaling, food diary. But yeah, so
Yes.
just getting back on track, just being conscious. Some people say you got to be so carb obsessed, and I don't think you'd be carb obsessed because first off, that's focusing on the wrong thing. But maybe just be carb aware. Kind of go the intuitive route, unless you think you really need to really knuckle down and start like tracking your macros. Either one's fine. Either one will
Oh,
work.
Yeah, and you know what? Like today, because I knew I didn't want to spend all day in the kitchen, because I had just got done spending all day in the kitchen Thursday. That I just went ahead this morning and I made what 6 hamburgers,
Hmm.
3 of them with onions, and then Lexi wanted sausage, so I made a ton of sausage for her. So that having meals prepared in advance make it easy just to warm it up a little bit, so that you don't have to cook.
Yeah,
That's less chance of having any issues.
I agree. And I know it's my job tonight to figure out what we're going to have for tomorrow and the next day, so I hadn't forgotten. So there, I called myself out in front of everybody.
Okay, I'll hold you to it.
All right, well, let's see if we can get a hold of Lisa. So, Julie, thank you, and I'll talk to you soon.
All right, y'all have a great night.
All right, Lisa, give us a ringy dingy. Hello, you are on the air.
Hey, it's Lisa.
Hello, Lisa. How art thou?
How are you? I'm good. Can you hear me? I muted my YouTube, but I can see you.
Ah, well, hi.
Hi. It's
Going
kind of weird. I never did this before.
Well, there is no phrase that pays except keto on,
Yeah.
and I can
Yeah.
only pay you in compliments. But so, what are some victories, some gotchas, some words of wisdom you can share with us going through the first major eating holiday of the year?
Yeah, it was my first major eating holiday for my carnivore journey.
Ah, so how long have you been
So, yeah,
carnivore?
I've been carnivore since May,
Since May. Okay.
and I came off of 5 years of plant-based.
Ah, okay. Yes, I remember now.
Yeah, so I am a little, well, yeah, I'm really in the thick of not being able to eat anything but the meat. And that's just it, you just make decisions to not, I mean, I brought my roast to the Thanksgiving dinner at church, and my husband came, and I had to make his plate of all the food, and I watched everybody around my table stuffing their face with all the different food. And like I said, one girl felt sorry for me. Like, she's like, oh, poor. And I'm thinking, you know what? I'm good. You all are going to have a tummy ache a little bit later.
Oh
But
yes.
so I really felt sorry for them, to be honest with you. I just, yeah, I was prepared. I had made my roast ahead of time, and I brought it in and warmed it up and put it on my plate. And, it was just nothing, it's just, I was plant-based for 5 years, so I was weird being plant-based. Now I'm just weird being carnivore,
Welcome to the
right?
club. We're all just weirdos.
Yeah, but you know what I think is the hardest thing for me is just mentally this time of year, just knowing that so much of the time of year is spent around food.
Mm-hmm.
That, we've grown up with food, everybody celebrates with food, everybody's eating everything. And even though since I've been carnivore, it was still hard. It's been hard. I love to cook. I'm not able to cook. I can't even eat the pork stuff you guys are talking about, or I can't eat the cheese. I'm lucky to eat eggs and pasture-raised chicken and pasture-raised beef, and
Mm-hmm.
I just do what I can do. And it's been really, really tough, but I'm getting better. I know I'm getting metabolically better. My cells are getting better. I've had a lot of improvement, so I know it's the right thing to do. In August, I after I came off of 90 days of carnivore, I tried to reintro some things, and it didn't work so well. And it really, I thought, you know what, I came for SIBO, but after 90 days, I'm done. I'm good. I'm going to go back, right, to eating other things. I couldn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a realization for me to say, wow, I really have a problem with these plants. They really are hurting me. And yeah, I'm choosing to not live in that pain and that
Mm-hmm.
misery and that discomfort. So, but it's a mind shift or mind matter of the mind. It's a matter of my mind as being okay with it, and each day I get a little bit better. Do you have any advice on that?
Well, you kind of hit it. Is it's mental more than it is physiological, but it's a mental. I don't want to say game because it's your life, but it's a decision. It's a series of small decisions that we make every single day. That's why when people say they call it a carnivore diet or a keto diet, it's not. That's one portion of it. That's why I talk about PhD synergy. All the things you've got diet, which is just the definition of what you eat. You've got activity, exercise, proper rest and sleep. You've got the mental, emotional, psychological, even spiritual side of things to it. That you got to take all of these things into consideration and all at once. Rather than focusing on just one thing and then you got that one thing, then you got to move to the next thing, but then you lose the steam that you got on that, and then this one comes, and then it's going to be so dynamic and up and down, and you're going to be a yo-yo if you take everything at once, work on everything a little bit, and it all begins to come up little by little, and maybe in each area not as fast as if you had done like a laser focus, but you see how everything starts to work together. So yeah, the biggest thing is going to be, I'm sorry, not the biggest thing. The thing that gets dismissed and maybe pushed aside more than it should is that mental side of it. I would highly encourage everyone to get the book Atomic Habits by James Clear. He says you don't, you don't rise to the level of your expectation, you fall to the level of your systems, your habits, those things that you have in place to where you can go to a church potluck and know because you've had you've established habits to where you know what you're going to do and what you're not going to do. And it's second nature. That all goes to addressing your relationship with food. It just all comes to the forefront of this time of year because like you said, it's everywhere. People are eating stuff. You can't, watch a TV show. You can't listen to the radio. You can't listen to people having conversations without talking about food.
Yeah.
Susanna, hello, welcome. We're having a great talk here with Lisa about some gotchas and some victories. And so the mental side of it, James Clear, Atomic Habits. Another good one is by Jeff Olson called The Slight Edge. And the basic premise of that book is there are no quantum leaps in anything, but there's the next step. Not all the steps, but what's your next step and what's your next step? And everything goes in degrees. So look for the steady eddy, not the quantum leap. Great book there too.
Yeah, and when you're saying that, it's like when I came in and I said 90 days, I'm going to do 90 days to get rid of my SIBO. That was all I focused on. That was it. And then when I went to the next step of saying, okay, I'm going to try and reintroduce some things. Well, I did that next step. It didn't work. It really proved something to me, and it really taught me the next step. I was just listening to my body and saying, what is my next step here? And I don't want to go backwards. I want to go forward. And just hearing a lot of the people who have talked about, like Teresa O, who I know she was carnivore for 14 months from, the plant-based, world and the pain that she went through. And I'm like, I'm only 6 months in, I got a little ways to go. So that gave me a little bit better expectation of it to say, hey, if I have to do this for another year, I'm okay with that.
Well, and to your point, Teresa had a long time, and you had how long were you plant-based?
5 years.
5 years. So, yeah, and in speaking with her, she said that it took a while. Some of the things took a little bit longer for some of the conditions to diminish, or in some cases go away. And I know other people that were plant-based, and they just they're not going to stay carnivore. They're doing it as an elimination to do some resetting. And but they said, kind of like you, well, I went for 90 days and then tried to reintroduce stuff, and it was just simply too soon. whether you're plant-based or standard American diet. If you've done that for years, then you could potentially have done damage, or you've just set the gears in a certain way. It's going to take a little bit more time to back out on that and to right the ship. It doesn't mean that
Well, and I think,
some of those things
I
you
think
might not
that,
be able to reintroduce later. It just might be your body's not quite
right.
ready to transition back yet.
But I think when I went to plant-based, it was because I have an autoimmune disorder. So I was already sick when I came to plant-based. Then I was plant-based for 5 years and got sicker. And then when I came to carnivore, I finally started feeling better and stopped feeling worse. So that is amazing, and I think that people should look at the little signs because they matter. Those little signs, like I had a toenail that had fungus, and it's all better now. Like 6 months into this, I got rid of it and it grew back normal. I can't believe it. But Doc Barry said that's what would happen, and those little things matter. Plus all the things that I was suffering from got better. I'm not perfect by any stretch and I'm still a work in progress, but I've learned a lot about the journey and about myself. And and just bringing that beef to the church potluck, there was no way I was tempted to eat anything on that dessert table or anywhere. I'm not a sugar addict anyway. I'm an alcoholic, recovered alcoholic. I was alcoholic for 25 years. I've been sober for 10. So a lot of my damage has been done. I've been sober for 10 years, but I mean, it takes a long time to recover from the toxicity, of alcoholism and all the damage I did. And I did a lot of damage to my stomach lining. So I probably have leaky gut because of all the alcohol I drank and the pills I took, the Zantac to calm down the heartburn, the Advil, liquid Advil, that I just can't believe what I did to but I had no idea, I had no idea. So
you chase the symptoms for so long.
Yeah. And so I'm glad to be on this road. I'm glad to be in a better place, although my healing will probably be longer because of all the damage that's been done. I have Hashimoto's and thyroiditis and, being, alcoholic for that many years. I mean, there's just normal wear and tear on life. But one of the other things that helped this weekend was Doc Barry was on a lot. He was on our lives this week, and then he was, just I was in the community. Then he did a live, and Nisha did a live on whatever day that was. I'm so messed up on the day. I think it was Friday. And then he came into our group and did another live, and the support that he gives us is just incredible. It really helps me. Yeah.
Yeah. Having support, and just like, and I know other people that are recovered or recovering from alcohol, from drug misuse. Without a support system, you can do it. An individual can do it. But man, that's a long road to hoe. And if you have support, if you have people that are like-minded, you don't have to agree 100% on everything, but just like-minded, then you can get in lockstep. And when I'm down, you're up, and you can and vice versa. And we can all kind of carry one another's burdens. And a rising tide raises all ships. And so that's why we like to do things like this and talk about some struggles, some victories, things that trip you up, things that trip me up, and then little things where it's like, hey, I could have, but I didn't. Last week I had a Thanksgiving at work, and there's this one dude. He should be a chef. He really should be. He's that good. And he made a green bean casserole that was pretty clean. He made everything from scratch. It was really good. But he also made a chocolate pie. And I got to admit, for like a half a millisecond, I was like, ooh, nah. And so, but that little millisecond was like, okay, I was able to say no. And then after that little flip, I didn't care. Because I knew that we had some of that chocolate protein pudding here, and it was going to be good. I actually prefer it better. Put a little bit of coffee in it. But yeah, so the support is vital. And that's why, we encourage folks, get get in the tribe, get into the network as much as you can, whether you're lurking, whether you're participating. But the more you can engage and participate, the better. Lives like this, lives with Dr. Barry, lives with Nisha, lives with the other coaches. And
Mhm.
everyone's got a little bit different, shtick. If you want to find out
Mhm.
about oxalates, my goodness, you need to talk with Paola. If you want to hear about
Mhm.
gut issues, man, Paulette is the one to contact.
Mhm.
And everyone's got. If you want to
Mhm.
learn how to read a research study, uh, put your helmet on and get in touch with Mitzi, because she will pull no
Mhm.
punches, and she'll separate
Mhm.
fact from fiction. So find those people um, in the coaching spaces and just in the group abroad. Just find those people that you can hook up with. Start DMing some folks. Get some relationships going. Um, I know this in our area. Where are you? Chicago, was it?
Yep, near Chicago.
Okay, yeah. I am not near Chicago, so I won't be swinging by. But yeah, I've noticed.
Oh, come on.
Well, yeah, yeah,
Hop, skip, and the jump, right? No.
yeah, and bring my flak jacket. Um, but down here in the on the East Coast, yeah, we're in North Carolina, and gosh, it's amazing how many people are in the Asheville area, Hendersonville, Charlotte, Winston Salem, even Knoxville, Tri Cities, Tennessee, this whole area. So we're going to be doing us a meetup here towards the end of May, and then we're thinking, hey, maybe next year, do a friendsgiving. So yeah, just going to try to build some more local in-person relationships, because I mean that's where it's at. Virtual is great. It's a great tool, but it's just like,
Mhm.
I could write a note and mail it. It's more efficient if I were to maybe send you a text message. It might be even more efficient if I were to
Mhm.
call you, and that's all to set up maybe a meeting or a time to get in front of somebody in person. That's the ultimate goal. We just do the best we can with the tools that we've got. So
Mhm.
anyway, yeah, just keep keep active in the network and keep building those relationships. It's like, yeah, DJ. He just said you're a member of the tribe, and uh, yeah, he really went off the rails this weekend. Well, hey, DJ, we're here with you. We got it. Today shop for meat, eggs, butter, and bacon. Hey, sing it with me: beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. Because guess what? We say we fell off the wagon. No, we probably leapt off of our own volition. That's okay. Dust yourself off, forgive yourself, and move on. You are, DJ. You just got some beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. You're going to do a little bit of a reset. That's okay. And here's the thing, and we'll probably end for the evening. But Lisa, thank you so much for calling in.
Yep.
And yeah,
Yep.
we'll,
Yep.
we'll do this format again. I like this. I like talking to people.
Yeah, it's awesome. Thank you so much for taking my call. Appreciate it.
You bet. So yeah, so the last thing I want to talk about is kind of to DJ's point here is where do you go from here? He said I kind of fell off the wagon, went off the rails. Today he took steps. He went shopping for good food, which means he's planning what he's going to be eating. Um, so yeah, so there's going to be a lot of things that you can do. What did we all learn from the last several days? We learned something right here already. I fell off the rails, so I need to plan more. I need to have food ready and available. So do that. Whatever you need to do. And again, this is where I'll just kind of echo again the idea of maybe do some food journaling, whether it's formal through an app, whether it's just jotting it down, writing it out. It'll speak to you. And I know I've heard Coach Kevin say before you eat that cookie or that piece of pie or that thing you shouldn't, stop. Just take a breath and just speak to it and say, I know that you're bad for me. I know that you're going to, get me off plan. I know that you're going to be, you're going to spike my insulin. You're going to do this and that and the other. And I'm going to choose to eat this slow poison. And that just taking a sec can help you rethink and really focus in. Is that really what I want to do? Always have your why. Again, getting back into the mindset of it. What's your why? Why are you doing this? Why are you a member of this PhD tribe? Why are you on this, wacko diet? Why are you embracing this kind of a lifestyle in the first place? Is it just to lose a few, you lose a few pounds, you want to get, back into an old wardrobe, or is it something, you want to, be around? We're going to be grandparents for the first time. We want to be around our grandkids for a long time and be active with them. That's one of the things we want to do. We want to be an example for our kids and our grandkids. We want to be an example for the people that we love and care about, our friends, our family. So there's a lot of things. And if you know that eating that piece of chocolate pie that I could have had at work, that's not going to help. That's not going to help that goal at all. So having clear goals in mind, and I heard this a long time ago, and I'll probably end with this. Set a goal. Yeah, we're coming up on New Year's resolutions, and who says you have to wait until January 1st? Set a goal. Whatever it is, set several, for your diet, for your activity, for your, relationships, for your work, for whatever. Set all those goals. Set them high. Dream big, or, dream big, or go big or go home. So dream big. Set some high goals, have good standards of excellence. And then know what the steps are to accomplish it. Forget the goal and then embrace the steps. Embrace the process. So you know what steps you have to take to get to that goal. Then just, kind of tune out the goal and just focus on the process. Well, I know if I eat these things, that I'm going to get myself towards that goal. I know that if I feed my brain these things, then I'm going to get me closer to that goal. I know that if I associate with these people and maybe disassociate with some of this, whether that's a person or TV or whatever, social media, that's going to, embracing that process will get you closer to those goals. And then maybe once a week, once every other week, then you can sit down and say, okay, I've been embracing this process. How is that in relationship to my goal? So you can do a checks and balances every week, every 2 weeks, just to see if you're on track with yourself. Because I mentioned this the other last week sometime. It's easy to get off course by 1 degree at a time. And there was some sailor, going to the New World, and they set sail, and they wanted to go from Europe. They wanted to get to North America, but they ended up at the bottom of South America because every time the navigator would plot the course, he didn't sharpen his pencil. So it was off by a couple degrees, by 1 degree, by 1 degree, by one. So you're miles, hundreds of miles off course because you didn't sharpen the pencil. Sharpening the pencil is embracing that process, checks and balances. Let's see. Oh, Dawn says, is there anything to use besides pork rind crumbs for keto stuffing? You're getting sick of them. Honestly, I will say this. First off, I don't know. What could be another substitute? I'm sure there's things out there. That's just what we've landed on for quite a while. But I will say this. What we have found, what Julie and I have found is it's kind of like, don't get mad, but like tofu. It can mimic whatever you prepare it with. And so like when she said she made the like a pseudo crust for some chocolate pie with that protein pudding, she mixed in some butter. She mixed in some of that Sirkin Gold, which is I think it's an allulose, like a brown sugar substitute. It's really good. Or the Swerve or the Boca Sweet, any of those. But in preparing it with those, it actually it kind of took on those flavors, and it didn't taste like a pork rind anymore. That might help. Oh yeah, and then mixing it with a little bit of coconut and almond flour. So there's a lot of options you have. But yeah, sometimes you can just get over pork rinds. And you're like, okay, if I have another pork rind, I might gag. I get it. But then, that was the other thing that Julie did. Well, instead of for watching a movie night, we don't have popcorn. We have pork rinds, but we pour melted butter with salt on them, and it's kind of like popcorn. But the other thing she did, I think it was, oh, what was it? Salt and pepper, or I don't, she put something. Oh, or was it dill? I don't know. Julie, put it in the comments. What did you make the other day with those pork rinds that changed the flavor so drastically you didn't even realize it was a pork rind? And yeah, guys, get creative. You know, uh, it's yeah. There's no harm in. I've made stuff. Okay, I've attempted to make some stuff sometimes that I was just like, that's nasty. I'm gonna just hide it. I'm gonna destroy the evidence and have a little artistic integrity, and we'll never speak of this again. But there's been some winners too that have just been pretty good, little off the cuff. Yes, the dill pickle. Yes, dill pickle flavored pork rinds. It's like chips. There's all these different flavors of potato chips. You can do the same thing with pork rinds because, again, kind of like tofu, it will just take on and absorb those flavors. So experiment a little bit. Melted butter and you know dill pickle and stuff like that. Have fun with it too. And if you have someone else who's a willing participant to be a taste tester, and then if it does go south, well, you can go buy them a butter coffee or something. But anyway, well, gang, we've gone over. This has been fun. I like the call-in format. Do you guys like the call-in format? Oh yeah, so Julie's going to put that stuff in our coaching space, not in the main feed, but in our coaching space, so you can get some recipes there too. Yeah, almond flour sometimes can do that with some folks. Yeah, try the coconut. Um, Pecan, maybe I would try the coconut flour first. I think that might be a little less aggravating. Well, Sammy likes the format. Maybe we'll get Sammy on the line next time. And just FYI, we're going to be doing. We're working out some details now. We're going to have a little bit more of a formalized schedule for lives, for content posting, and some interaction and different things. So just be ready. We're kind of ramping up for first of the year. Again, not because we have to wait for the first of the year, but just time wise, that's just going to work out best. I'll be out of pocket for a little bit, getting a new hip, but that's not going to take me out of the loop forever. So, but yeah, so we're gearing up for some a little bit more form, and we'll post a schedule of you can expect a new blog article here, and there's going to be a call in live here. There's going to be a chat live here. So because we want to engage in the community more, and we want to just help as many people as we can through as many different avenues as we can. All right, well, guys, we're going to end it for now. This has been fun, and we hope you have a wonderful week. Stay engaged, stay in the network, and yeah, don't feel bashful about reaching out to each other. So anyway, guys, we're excited for what's coming next, and